Hi and welcome to Larry's computer class. Today we're going to continue talking about computer basic skills, and we're going to start today with your start menu. Your start menu is this little icon in the bottom left corner of your computer. You click on it once, it brings up this page, and as it is a bunch of shortcuts. These are just icons. These are actually the same as the ones on your desktop, but what you can do, what I do usually, is the icons on my desktop are ones I use on a regular basis every day or a couple times a week, and icons that are in the start menu are things that I don't visit as often, maybe once a week or once a month or something like that. But you can set it up any way you want. And to use these icons, simply, if you want to add one, say you want to add Firefox to your start menu, simply put your cursor on Firefox, hold your left mouse button down, drag your mouse down to here till the window opens, and let go of your button. And as you can see now, Firefox is added to my list. Very simple. And to remove from, just go to that icon, hit your right mouse button, click on delete. Are you sure you want to remove this? Hit yes. And it will put it in your trash bin. Your trash bin, I will talk about that for a minute. If you put something in your trash bin, it's not permanently deleted. You can simply click on your trash can if you decide you put something in there by accident or you decided you don't want to delete it. Just go to that icon, click on it, and it says restore this item. Click on that, it takes it out of your recycle bin and puts it back in your start menu. Now, if you right click on Firefox and hit delete, yes, then you go to your trash bin and you can right click on your trash bin and go to empty recycle bin. And you click on that. Do you want to permanently delete these files? Yes. Once you do that, now it is gone. It is very difficult to get back, so be careful what you delete out of there. To get it back, you'd have to actually buy a program or visit your tech, which will cost you money. Let's see what else we have. We have here next we have programs. These are a list of all your programs that are on your computer. Some of these programs come with your computer. Some of these programs you can download from the internet, and other programs you can load from a disk or a DVD, and they all show up here on your program. Documents, this is just like a history. It shows you sites you've been to, things you've done. Settings, these are shortcuts to your control panel. Network connection, printer, taskbar, and start menu. Control panel, I'll show you that quickly. Your control panel is a lot of programs that run your computer. There's some programs in here you can go to and have a little fun with. There's some programs you can go into where you could change settings that you really don't want to, so be careful what you go into here. But a couple of things we're going to talk about today is your taskbar and start menu. But we'll get back to that in a minute. I'll show you the rest of these shortcuts. Let's see, settings. Your network connection is simply your network, your computer, your printer, faxer, scanners. You get your printer here. That's how you would go to this. If you install a new printer, you have to go in here and set up all the information. Start bar and task menu, that's this down here. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Search, you can go in here, click on files and folders, and you can put in here something that you're looking for. If you lost a file or a picture, you can't find it, you can go in here and do a search. Help and support, that's just exactly what it says. Run, we're going to get to that in a minute. I'll show you something about that. Shut down, click on this, and you have choices of whether you want to switch users, log off, restart, sleep, or shut down. Switch users, log off. If you have more than one person on a computer, you can have separate areas for each person to work. You could log off and then log on to a different user. Restart is just restart your computer. It shuts down and restarts. Sleep puts it to sleep where it doesn't shut down, but it's a power saver setting. Shut down will shut down and not restart. Alright, good. Let's go to control panels, because I want to show you some of these features in Taskbar and Start Menu. Taskbar Start Menu. Your Start Menu has two options. You have Classic Start Menu, which I have selected, and you have a regular Start Menu. Click on that, hit Apply, hit OK. Now, what that's going to do is it gives you a little different Start Menu. Now, you still have all your icons, all your areas that you want to go to. This says all programs instead of just programs. You click on that and it brings up that list that I showed you of all the programs on your computer. It just does it a little bit differently. Folder, and you can click on each of these folders, anything you want, and it brings up whatever's in that folder. And then you have a list of shortcuts, documents, picture folders, music folders, recent items, that's like a history, your computer and network connections, your control panel. It's kind of the same thing as your other Start Menu. It just does it a little bit differently. I'm just going to change this back to the original classic one. Hit Apply. Now, on this window, you have a couple of choices up here, and you have a couple of choices here. And I changed this one to the classic Start Menu, and I'm going to just hit Apply. That will apply this change without closing this window. If you hit OK, it'll apply the changes, but it will close the window. I'm going to go back to the Start Menu. This Lock the Taskbar, that should always be checked. Auto Hide the Taskbar and keep the taskbar on top of windows. Those are kind of settings you can change and do whatever you want. Auto Hide the Taskbar I have checked so you can see when I put my cursor on the bottom. Let me close this, get it out of the way. Put it on the bottom, it opens. When I remove it, it closes. If you uncheck this and hit Apply, it will just stay on top. There's no changing it. It doesn't close. And if you close it, it just gives you a little more screen room when you're working. That's all. Instead of this being up there, it gives you a little more area to work. Keep the taskbar on top at all times. If this is checked, this should be checked, because what will happen is if you're on the internet, Firefox or Internet Explorer, and you're surfing the internet, and you go to look at this taskbar, if that is not checked, you won't be able to see it. If that's checked, it'll bring it up like on top of whatever is open in the background. Notification area. This is your notification over here. This shows you a couple of choices. You can have working, your clock, volume, network, and your power settings. If you have a regular desktop, you won't have a power setting. I believe that's only for laptops. And that's what they're showing you: clock, volume, whether you're connected to the internet or not, and your battery. Toolbars, you really don't have to get into that. There's not much in here you can do. Okay. So that about covers, this is your notification area. This is your quick launch area. And this is your Start Menu. Your quick launch area, they're just icons down here. They're called quick launches because you can just click on them once and go to a certain thing. I have Notepad, Firefox, my email, and my computer. And the reason you put notifications down there, if you're on the internet or if you have a file open, say you're on the internet and you're searching something and you have a question about it, instead of minimizing this screen or closing it and reopening it again, you can simply go down here, click on Firefox again, ask your question, how do I, whatever you want to ask, and then you find your information that you want. You close the screen and it brings you right back to where you were working if you were reading something or something like that. Or if you want to just stop for a second what you're doing, check your emails. You can check your emails. I use Hotmail. Check your email, do what you gotta do, close that, and it brings you right back to where you were. So that's kind of a neat little area to have. You can put anything you want down here. You can move these around. You can pretty much move anything that's on the screen. You just put your cursor on it, hold your left mouse button down, and slide it over. As you see, it's really hard to see, but there's a little tiny black line above what I'm moving, and that tells you where it's going to be. Put it at the beginning, and it puts it over here. Want to move it back, put your cursor on top of the icon, hold your left mouse button down, Watch the black line, and you can pretty much move them around any way you want. If you have more than 4, I'll show you how to move things down. Same thing as your start menu. Put your cursor on it, your left button, scroll down till it opens, and then you see the black line again. Pop that in there. Now, if you have more than 4 icons down here, it gives you this little arrow, and it brings it up over here. Or, if you want, you can change the width of this. I believe on some computers you can, some computers you can't. It depends. And this is the same thing as your start menu. If you don't want it in there, like I don't need 2 Firefoxes in here, so I put my cursor on it. Right mouse button, delete. Are you sure you want to delete? Yes. And your recycle bin, remember, right click, empty recycle bin. Good. What else can we talk about? Let's talk about moving your icons around on your desktop. You can move them around, you can rearrange them, you can do anything you want here. Simply, as usual, put your cursor on it, your left mouse button, move it over. You want to move this one up, hold your left mouse button down, move it up, release your button. Same thing here, hold your button down, release. And you can move a whole row by putting your cursor off the icon. Hold your left mouse button down, move your mouse till they all turn gray. Let go of your button, and then put your cursor on any one of these that you want. Hold your left mouse button down, move your mouse. You can move a whole row at one time. And you can move it. What did I do? That's all right, I'll get back to that. You can move the whole page if you want. Once they turn gray, click on one of them, move it over, hold your button down, move anything you want. Now, as far as the start menu goes, when you turn your computer on, you'll see a lot of times you'll have windows that open up when it's starting up. It could take a long time for your computer to start. You could have programs opening up all the time, windows here that you have to close and close and close all the windows that are in your way. There's a couple different ways you can do that. You can go to Settings, go to Control Panel. If you have Windows Vista or Windows 7 or newer, you have a Windows Default program, Windows Defender program. You can click twice on that. It brings up this little screen. Click on Tools, click on Software Explorer, and here it brings up a screen where all your start menus are. See here it says Start Menu Programs. This is all the programs that start up when you turn your computer on. And if you have a bunch of windows starting up that you don't want, or if you have a lot of icons down here, if they're way over here, you have a lot of icons, you're using up CPU time, you're using up startup time, you're using up hard drive space, you can close some of these windows. For example, like WeatherBug, I have here, I can click on it. When it highlights, you can click Remove. Are you sure you want to remove? Hit yes, and that removes it from the list. It doesn't stop the program from working. It just stops that program from turning on every time you start your computer up. Another way to do that with your older computers, XP, NT, Windows 98, click your Start menu, go to Run, and you type in, I already have it here, you type in msconfig, msconfig. Hit OK. And it's going to bring up another little pop-up window. Close this. Takes it a minute. It's going through finding all your programs. And here you simply go to your startup menu. Don't change anything on this screen in general or the boot or anything like that. Just go directly to your startup menu. And here's a list of all your programs that are starting when you turn your computer on. And all you have to do is check the program that you want to stop running. If you have like I had WeatherBug, if you have Skype, you'll see sometimes you'll have Instant Messenger, you'll have Yahoo Messenger, all these things that are starting. You simply just check them, hit OK, and those programs will stop turning on every time you turn your computer on. That's about it. That's going to cover our basics for the start menu and your icons, your quick launch, and your notification area. Thank you for visiting Larry's computer class. I hope to see you soon in the future. Thank you.